So a lot of people have been asking about the Excursion. Well, here you go. I thought I'd just make a quick 300,000 mile review of this truck. A lot of people think this is mine. This is not my vehicle. This is my father's vehicle. I just maintain it for him. I work on it for him. I keep it running for him. And it's been a really interesting experience. He bought this brand new with 2 miles on the odometer, drove it right off the dealer's lot. And he's had it ever since, and he recently hit 305,000 miles on it. And I'm just going to go over what all we've done to it and just how these things hold up. I got to say, it's been really good. It's been really impressive. The 7.3 is no joke. They live long. They're not the most powerful thing. They're not the quietest thing out there, but they do not die. That is for sure. You can beat these things. We're towing a camper across Kansas and through Colorado, and we had a bike rack mounted on the front here. This front license plate, as you can see, is actually a hitch receiver on the front here. We had a bike rack on the front, and we were pulling in the Extreme tune, which is supposedly the 120 horse tune, and it started to overheat due to the block of airflow there on the front, and the radiator was a little clogged from a previous transmission cooler line leak. So we cleaned that up, and that took care of that. But the 7.3s are definitely the long liver. They're like the they're like the Windows XP version of operating systems. They're old-fashioned, not the fastest, but they are reliable as Windows XP itself. So the first issue we ever had with this vehicle, if I can think way back when he bought this brand new in 2000, this is a 2001 model, it was purchased in September of 2000. He had a problem with the rear air conditioning. I believe they replaced the evaporator under warranty. But other than that, the AC system has not been touched on this truck, except for this little connector right here, which I replaced around, I think it was 280,000 or so, I believe. So I put a new connector in there, and other than that, we have not had any problems with the air conditioning on this vehicle. No problems with the heaters, no coolant leaks. Front and rear climate controls both work fine, haven't had any issues with those. All 4 front ball joints were done at 250,000 miles. I thought that was a really good lifespan we got out of those. We did have the little needle bearings on the axle shafts go out on this side. While I was in South Carolina, I noticed a rumbling noise coming from the front end of the vehicle after hitting bumps. It had been doing it on and off very intermittently for about a month, and I never got down to fixing it until it did it continuously, and then I could diagnose what it actually was. So we did those. Both hub bearings have been replaced. Those were done in about 100,000 miles. Another common issue was lack of transmission cooling on this vehicle, and the transmission was replaced at 104,000 miles. The one in there now currently has 200,000 on it. We haven't had any issues after putting the auxiliary cooler and a transmission fluid temperature gauge in the vehicle. We tow with this thing all the time. So far, so good. Batteries, I found the Motorcraft batteries hold up best in this thing. I'm sure there's others out there that you could use, but we've had good luck with the Motorcrafts. We tried some AC Delcos, which that was a mistake. AC Delco makes some good stuff, but batteries are definitely not their highlight. The K&N air intake, I know a lot of people hate on that, and I don't know why, but we have not had any issues with ours. And people say, oh, it lets particles in and everything. I can't find it, and that was installed around 140,000, and here we are 300,000 miles on the original turbo, original injectors, everything. We haven't had any issues. The alternator was replaced, and I don't know if that was me or if that was just the fact that it had 280,000 miles on it. I jump-started this vehicle once, and one of those things that I laugh at everybody else for doing and never thought I would do myself was hook the jumper cables up backwards, and I did. And it was after that the alternator went out. So I think the alternator served as a fusible link. Other than that, no problems with the electrical system. The water pump was done at about 100,000 miles as well. We put 2 camshaft position sensors in it. These little jack tool retainers, they get brittle and they break, so we moved the jack tools inside the vehicle in the spare tire. area back there. There's a little cover. The transmission dipstick tube has been replaced. We've put 3 belts and 1 tensioner on the vehicle. So about, if you figure 100,000 miles on a belt, that's pretty good actually. The headlights lasted, the headlight bulbs lasted until about 275,000 miles, and then they both went out at just about the same time. It was crazy. I think there was about a 500-mile difference between when they both went out. So those were finally replaced. I hit a deer, and I put a new grill, the 06 to 08 style grill on it, and a new bumper. And as you can see, the molding didn't really fit all that well around it, but hey, it works. Of course, inside you're going to have your typical seat tears here, but I mean, 300,000 miles, what do you expect? This is kind of hodgepodge, but hey, it still works. It's a goofy vacuum, which never happens, and boost gauge there that I put in a long time ago. Right here is the Granatelli Motorsports heads-up display for your EGT and transmission temperature. Over there is a snow performance methanol injection, and I got the switch down here for that. So there's that. I have this set up to monitor the EGT on the driver's bank and the passenger's bank, so that's kind of neat. You can compare your exhaust temperature differences. It's a good way to keep an eye on fuel injector balance as well. The only time we've ever had the check engine light come on was for glow plug issues, and other than that, nothing else. And 305,000 miles, the check engine light's still off. I've got it in 4 low to drive up on this ramp here. Otherwise, the front of this vehicle is so heavy it'll literally slide my little rack there, or the little lift. The steering is loose. There's a lot of play in the steering. You really have to be on top of the game here with correcting it while you're going down the highway, because it wanders a lot, and it's been like that since the day we got it. It's gotten a little worse. I think one of these days I'm going to put a steering gear in it. We replaced this shifter assembly here because this little end here broke off, common issue. I put an aftermarket radio and 2 Kicker Comp 12s in this, and hence the missing rear view mirror there. That mirror has also been replaced, by the way. The auto dimming feature went out on it, and it was like halfway blacked out, halfway clear. So we replaced that. Let's see, what else have we done in this thing here? Here's a trailer brake controller, subwoofer knob. There's a tuner. I wouldn't really recommend this tuner. There's a lot better ones out there, but you know, it does the job. It's fine. No check engine light, so I'm okay with that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 door lock actuators were replaced at about 140,000 miles. They all went out about the same time, but ever since we put new ones in, no problems. They all still work just fine. So that's kind of a one-time job. These little vents here in the back fall out over time, especially when you grow up with a family of 7 kids. Like I did. Me being the oldest, I was always trying to keep things nice, but I guess my siblings thought otherwise. This is also an aftermarket seat. When my youngest sister came along, my dad took the center console out and put a middle seat here. And it's, you know, not the best quality, but it works. It does okay. Original injectors. I've had even other diesel mechanics tell me that there's no way you'll get 300,000 miles out of the original injectors. Well, here's living proof that you can. That's the original injectors, original H-pop, everything. The key is keeping your doggone engine oil changed. I change the oil in this thing every 5,000 miles. Yeah, it's a little expensive, 15 quarts of oil, but you know what? To see that thing start up and run like that with the original injectors and the H-pop, it's priceless. So, it's not much of a family vehicle anymore like it used to be. This is where an old car seat used to be. Tore that seat there. But it's used mainly for hauling. My sister uses it for hauling her horses around, hence the saddle in the back there. So it kind of smells a little horsey in here at the moment. We've always used the Michelin LTX MS tires. Seem to get the best life out of those, 60 to 80,000. Depending on driving habits. There's the subwoofers. That makes the driving in this thing fun. These little things here wear out and fall out every once in a while, but they're cheap. They're like $1 on Rock Auto. So we put new ones of those in there. The rear parking assist recently quit working, and I think it's because one of the sensors went bad. So it's just another thing that I haven't gotten around to doing. 4-inch turbo back, silver line straight pipe exhaust. We deleted the resonator as well, so there is nothing. That is straight from the turbo back. I gotta say, it sounds good. It gets a little noisy around certain RPMs on the inside, but it's a fun vehicle. We don't really use it for, you know, family vacations anymore like we used to, so we just kind of decided to have a little fun with it. But other than that, that's it. We've done glow plugs, did the glow plug control module, and that's it. We haven't touched anything else on this truck. Transfer case is original. Both the front and rear differentials are original, haven't been touched. I think the fuel level sensor may be starting to go out because it hangs up around full to 3/4 of a tank. It gets a little intermittent, but once you get down to half, it starts reading correctly, so you're fine there. And being a 45-gallon tank, you got plenty of fuel. So there she is. Just got finished changing the oil on it. This has been one good vehicle. Like I said, everything just keeps working on this thing. 4-wheel drive works. We never had a problem with it. You got to use it every once in a while to keep those hubs freed up. Heated seats still work. Power seats still work. Everything just works, you know. This was an amazing vehicle. Ford did a really good job on this. I know Ford has made some crap in their days, but man, when they make some good stuff, it's like this. It just runs and runs and runs. Yeah, that's one healthy 300,000 miles, 7.3. There you have it. A little bit of a longer video here, but thought you all might like to see a review of this thing at 300,000 miles. From 2 miles to 300,000. This has been a good truck.